Greetings, 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 grand rising, Osio, Mabriqua, Halito, Shalom, Sakpase, Watagoan. All right, brothers and sisters, man, what it is. It's a beautiful day. I am still a little tired because, like I said, I took a long trip, man, and it's only when you travel for so many hours. I'm a long distance traveler, right? But when it's time for me to crash, man, listen, it takes me at least 3 days to recuperate, right? But it's all good, though. I'm in great spirits. I want to give thanks to the great spirit, Mother God, for the beautiful continuation of life. Give thanks, of course, to my ancestors for being that conduit, for being that umbilical cord, so to speak, to connect to the source. So I'm very thankful for that. First, I want to give thanks to each and every one of you for tuning in. It's a beautiful day to be alive. It's a beautiful day to be indigenous. It's a beautiful day to be an American Aboriginal. All right. And I'm sending lots of love and positive energy, not just energy, but positive energy to you wherever you at. All right. For all those of you who are actually vibrating on this high frequency, man, listen, more power and love to you. For those of you who are still vibrating in your lower chakras, and you filled with nothing but hate and animosity and jealousy and envy and you bad mind, man, listen, I'm still sending you positive love, okay? Hopefully some of my energy could rub off on you and let you step into a realm of a higher sense of thinking, all right? But with that being said, we're going to talk about a few things today, right? And as you could see that, I kind of have a little heading, a little description. We're going to talk Indigenous Peoples Day, and we're going to talk status correction, all right? Because a lot of people have been hitting me up asking me questions. And for me, I love to share information, so we're going to get into that a little bit. What I'm going to do is, before we even get into that, I'm going to put, let me just go www. I'm going to put my my information also in the description. And once again, I subscribe, not just believe. I subscribe to what's called synergy. Okay? It means that I give unto you and you give unto me. That's what life is all about. All right? I extend my right hand, you extend your left. We hold our hands together and we become one. All right? Life is not a one-way street. All right? And for all those of you who think and operate that way, life has karma. So I'm just gonna put let me just put that there to support or show your love. You could do it right here. Okay, like I said, I'm one of the ones that keep it 100, and I you know what I'm saying. So that's what I do. Now, what's going on here? Okay, save. Good. So this is what I can't see the you know what, I can't see the comments. Let me just put that in here, peace and love. Maybe it will show up. Oh man, I put peace and love. Whoa, hold up. Let me edit that. Give me a second. Let me edit that. Peace and love. Chief, what are you thinking? Well, it was just a typo. It's a typo, people. It's a typo. Peace and love, not peace and love. All right, there we go. All right, perfect. Let me pin that comment right there. All right, good. So how y'all doing this great rising today, man? All right. That's what's up. We got a few people tuned in. So we all know the reason why, Indigenous Peoples Day, it is a big, how would I put it, a big movement, or it's becoming such an acknowledgement, in today's day and age, especially in the atmosphere that we're living in. Once again, we know that we are living in the age of Aquarius, all right? And I'll reiterate what that means. It means that it is the time and the age of enlightenment, where people are asking questions. It is something that's happening naturally. It all deals with, astrology, and it deals with the cosmos and the constellations, and everything has a part to play with that, because we are, what's within us is what's being projected outside of us. All right, so we are part of the universe. The universe is part of us. So once that change is taking place in the universe, it affects us on a mental, so-called spiritual level, and then it manifests in the flesh. So this is the age of awakening. All right. So the indigenous people of the world are stepping up. All right. And debunking the lie that Christopher Columbus discovered anything. All right. Christopher Columbus didn't discover anything. He knew, as a matter of fact, he knew about, people living there. Like I said, once again, Christopher Columbus was a Moor. All right. So I'm just going to keep it all day, 100, percent speaking the truth. All right. They came here with a plan. It was well strategized. Okay. Now, indigenous people, to me, it's a start. It's a start. It's a great way to start. But we cannot just stop there and say that we are indigenous. And I'll tell you why. Okay, it's imperative that we get these words to, down pat. All right, so we make informed decisions as to what or who we identify as. Okay, yes, we are indigenous, but indigenous is also a blank statement. All right, and I'll get into that real quick. I wish on Facebook, I was able to share my screen, but for some reason I haven't mastered that just yet. I'm not able to do it on my desktop. So, but I'll get into that later. As you know, YouTube kind of, got me in YouTube prison, so to speak, and they banned me from doing lives on YouTube. With that being said, there's a reason why the UN, they're leaving it up to the people to determine who is indigenous, because it's so vague that they cannot make that determination. You feel me? And that's facts. So when you look at UNDRIP and ADRIP, all right, the American Declaration, ADRIP is American Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous People, and you have UNDRIP, United Nations Declarations on the Rights of Indigenous People. They are speaking in a general sense where anybody could determine whether they're indigenous or not based on their affiliations. All right? So we're going to break that down, put that more in context. Do me a favor, brothers and sisters, share. Go ahead and share this, this bill. I really want this to extend to as many people as possible. Now, I know you can't see my screen, but however, like I said, please share, right? What I'm going to do now, I'm going to go look at the etymology. We're going to look at the etymology of words, because it's important we know the foundation and the origin of the word, and not allow anybody to play this semantics with us. Okay? If the etymology of a word is one thing, it means that it's the root of the word. So therefore, we're going to look at it from the root, the very foundation. That's why I keep telling everybody else, don't play these games with me. If the etymology said that, remember, Yah gave us the etymology. It wasn't the Caucasian man. Yah gave it to us. So let's stop playing the games. All right? But anyway, I'm not going to pick on them today. I'm going to talk about Indigenous Peoples Day and status correction. All right? That's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to look at indigenous. Let us look at the etymology of indigenous. And as a matter of fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this link and I'm going to put it in the description, in the chat. So at least if you're able to take a look at it, you know what it is. So family, I just put the link for etymology of the word indigenous. So let us read. And I tell folks, when we read, let's read with understanding. Let's not just read and rush things. Let's read, take our time, and break the words down. Okay, here we go. Indigenous, an adjective, right? So we know indigenous is an adjective. What's an adjective? Okay, because when we call ourselves indigenous, remember, brothers and sisters, that's why it's so vague, because indigenous is not a noun. Indigenous is not a noun. Now look at an adjective. An adjective is what? An adjective describes a name of a person, place, or thing. So if indigenous is an adjective, how in heaven's name can we be indigenous as a noun? Now, I hope you get what I'm saying. Just like black, right? Just like black. Black is an adjective. It describes, so how can you be black? When you know that it doesn't, well, for one, it doesn't describe who we are. But they tend to use black as a noun. No, it's an adjective. It's an adjective. The same thing goes with the word or the term indigenous. Indigenous describes a name of a person, place, or thing. So let's break this down. We are not things. We are not places. We are so-called persons. Now, I'm not going to get into the semantics of persons. Me personally, I'm not a person. Okay? I have a person, but I'm not a person. All right? And then I'll explain to you what that means. Because you see, in legalese, they catch us with this, once again, semantics of words. And these definitions were put in place to confound and confuse the people. And I'm not here to beat up on them today. All right? So I'm going to leave them alone. But you know who gave us all these words and all these etymologies, and you know who created what you call legalese. You know who created that. And like I tell you again, it wasn't the pale man, it wasn't the Caucasian man. Still blaming the Caucasian man for everything. All right? Stop. That's what's creating problems in society, is the miseducation of the people. Got us hating so-called white folks. I don't hate so-called white folks. All right? I get along with anybody who have the right energy. And you know, a ripe fool, and I'm saying ripe fool, not right fool, but ripe fool intent or energy. That's what I rock with. I don't care what you look like. I really don't, honestly, and that's me speaking from the heart, because I know the truth. I know what happened. So I'm not going to hate people because of the way they look. They themselves have been miseducated. Having them think, well, they came here on this beautiful Mayflower and it was, they were serving cookies and cream and champagne on the ship. No, they came here as slaves, but they were not taught that. So I'm here to put everything in perspective and shed light on the truth so we are all able to respect each other. That's what it's about. So let us look at indigenous. It's actually an adjective. So it describes animal, person, place, or thing. Now, I was going to break down me not being a person. What do I mean by that? Because in a legal sense, all right, a person is an entity, all right? A corporation, an estate is a person, especially a legal person. You have a natural person and a legal person. Now, if we really want to get into semantics, they would say that a natural person deals with the flesh and blood. But even so, in their system, a natural person could also be considered, okay, an entity. So because I'm aware of the games that they play, especially legalese, like I told y'all before in many videos, we speak 3 forms of English. We speak standard English, which you are taught in school, all right? And then we speak slang. Slang is what we speak in the streets. And then we speak legalese. That's why when the police officer pulls you over and said, you have a right to remain silent, do me a favor, please be silent. Because now you're stepping into a realm of what they call legalese. And anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law because it's a different language. It sounds like English, but it's not English because every word has a different definition in the legal world. Typical example, if a judge asks you, do you understand? Make sure you say no. Because in the streets and in standard English, do you understand relates to or it's synonymous with do you comprehend? But in the courtroom, it means are you under me? So that's an example of what a word you could use in legalese, the different meanings. All right. So me not being a person, but I have a person, all that means is that I look at myself as the higher I am. That's who I truly am. I'm not the flesh. So the higher I am in me is not a person. However, my flesh is a person. So I always make it clear that I'm not a person, and I have a person, and my person is my property. And you cannot tell me what to do with my person, period. I hope that makes sense. If that was broken down eloquently, well, please, let me get some love, because I want to make sure that y'all really get what I'm talking about. Because our people get trapped up in these court systems because they are uneducated. And it's not by fault. I'm not here casting any form of judgment. It is because of ignorance. And what ignorant means is basically a lack of knowledge. All right? So I'm just trying to clarify things so a lot of our people don't get into these situations. All right? So let us go read, and I'm not going to apologize for, going in detail. All right? For me, when I explain things, I like to do it so that a child could comprehend. All right? So please don't say, well, oh man, Chief, get on with it. No, I don't want to do that. I want to make sure that this is understood, well, understood, so to speak, right? So here we go. Indigenous, adjective, all right? Born or originating in a particular place. Let us stop right there. Everything else is just icing on the cake. This is the cake right here. All right? The first three, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The first 7 words in the etymology of indigenous is what we're going to focus on right here. I'm going to take that and put that in the chat for y'all. All right? And we're going to look at those 3, not 3, but let us look at exactly what I put in there. All right? It says what? Born or originating in a particular place. This is why the UN makes it so vague. Because brothers and sisters, when you look at the word born, that means anybody could be indigenous. What is another word that's synonymous with born? Guess what? Native. Native. So therefore, natives could call themselves indigenous. Here's the key. When it pertains to us, we are born, yes. However, we are also originating in a particular area. So does that mean we are indigenous as well? Yes. Does it mean that natives or even Caucasians could be indigenous? Yes, because they were born. So you see how the system is set up to still put immigrants and foreigners and colonizers and invaders, still put them in a position to claim that they are indigenous. Now, I don't know if that makes sense, if y'all miss that. I don't know if it makes sense to y'all. All right? I don't know. But I'm breaking this down for what it is. Let us go look at the etymology of the word. Indigenous, born or originating in a particular place. So therefore, natives are indigenous. Okay? Caucasians are indigenous. Even Africans are indigenous once they are born here. So you see why the UN said, listen, man, y'all determine based on self-determination whether you're indigenous or not. Okay? So when Obama adopted UNDRIP, the United Nations Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous People, did he really do us a big favor? Or did he just do everybody a favor? Man, listen, Chief Kalinago don't play these games, man. You feel me? Because I see things from a higher perspective. I don't just look at things and be like, oh, well, that's what it is. No, thank you, Mr. President. No. I want to know what your motives and your intentions are, and I'm gonna literally disseminate everything that you're giving me. Because anybody could be indigenous. All right? However, not everybody is originating from the land. Now comes the point of origin. That's the key. It's the point of origin. And the 2020 census is addressing that. You could no longer say, well, I'm black or I'm Africa or I'm this and I'm even Caucasians cannot just say I'm white anymore. You have to give your point of origin, which I think is brilliant. Not that I'm going to fill out the census. I'm just letting you know it's brilliant. So people could stop playing the games. That's why when I ask anybody, it doesn't matter what you look like, because I don't pick on people. I just like to bring out the truth. When I ask them, where are you from? Oh, you're from Philadelphia? Okay, wow, cool. So where's your mother from? Now you start getting the truth. Now we start getting into the point of origin. That determines who is an Aboriginal or not. So am I celebrating Indigenous Peoples Day? Of course, because I was born on the American soil, and I'm also originating from the American soil. But I have to challenge people who call themselves Indigenous who are not Aborigines. Ah, you get the difference. There's a difference. All right. So in light of all that, happy Indigenous Peoples Day to each and every one of y'all. I don't care what's your point of origin. Happy Indigenous Day. As long as you consider yourself Indigenous, born or originating, happy Indigenous Peoples Day. To me, it's a step in the right direction. Okay? It's a step in the right direction. And what we American Aborigines have to do is use that as a stepping stone to start taking ourselves where we need to be. Okay? Where we need to be. Someone said what? For the foreigners to assume an indigenous nationality, but they are not Aboriginal autochthonous to these lands. Yes, absolutely. Lazier. That's, you see, that's what this was all about. Is giving them a window to still colonize us. It's to still usurp our land, usurp our birthright. Okay? That's all it is. And people sometimes are so blind, they don't see these things. But I am here to shed light on all of that. All right? And all of that. So now we know what indigenous really means. So let us read the rest of it. It says, born or originating in a particular place. 1640s, from late Latin indigenous, born in a country, native, from Latin indigena, sprung from the land, native as a noun. A native literally means what? Born. Native literally means born in or born in a place. That's all native is. So when these $5 Indians and Mongolians tell us we are not native, they are. How could you even say that when all native means to be born? But they thought that I would never figure it out. Yes, they are natives. They are speaking the truth. They are Native Americans. Just like every African, every Caucasian, every other ethnic group or so-called race that's born here. If an alien, okay, let's just say somebody from Mars, a Martian, came and was born in the United States or in the Americas, they are also natives. They are Native American Martians. You feel me? The key is, this is where the native people catch, they catch a lot of people. When they say Native American, they don't give their point of origin. And that's what we have to challenge, family. That's where we make our claim. What is your point of origin? That's why the 2020 census is a beautiful thing. What is your point of origin? And when I say it's a beautiful thing, meaning that, my disclaimer again, I'm not telling you go fill it out. That's a personal choice. For me, I ain't messing with that. That's just me, okay? Again, that's just me. So that's how they catch people. Y'all got to peep the game. Peep the game. All right? Oh, yeah, they're absolutely correct, Lazia. They are actually natives. They're absolutely correct. But we have to take it a step further. We have to take it a step further. Why does that matter? It matters because we, as the original people of this land, all right, we are not getting our fair share of the American pie, so to speak, if I may. We are not getting our fair share. Why is that? Why is that? Every other ethnic group comes into our land and they become successful. As a matter of fact, even before they come, they already have accounts set up. They already have apartments. They have a social security number. They're already getting stuff to be in welfare. They're getting business loans. And when they come, man, listen, they set up. But for some reason, the American Aborigines, we can't seem to catch a break at all. Why is that? Even when they tell us the lies that we are Africans, real Africans come here and they get opportunities. They get to open stores. They get to open businesses and be successful and take their money and send it back to their country. So if y'all tell us we from Africa, how is that we can't get the same opportunity as the real Africans? Why is that? I'll wait. Man, y'all better peep the game, man. It's because they don't want the original people of this land to know who they are, so that, because within law, we have the highest claim on this land. So if they could take us away from who we are, then guess what? Everybody else get to be us. It's called trading places. For those of you who are old enough to remember that Eddie Murphy movie, go look at it for, you young bucks. Now, I mean, look young and, but, I'm in my, you know what I'm saying? For real. So I ain't no spring chicken, you know what I mean? But I ain't no old hen either. You feel me? The point I'm trying to make is I know things. And when I see things, the Great Spirit gave me the skill and the ability and the characteristics to look at those things and see it for what they are. Not what they tell me it is. All right? So just know what indigenous means. Yes, we are indigenous because we are born and. You see, because indigenous is born or, but we are born and, so that make us aboriginals. All right? Now, a lot of people may have, for those of you who don't know, Shanae, yeah, I love that movie too. For those of you who don't know not the etymology, who haven't seen Trading Places with Eddie Murphy, go look at it and study that movie and break it down. All right, take your time and look at it and see what they're telling you. All right, Trading Places. And it's so ironic that that same Eddie Murphy came and gave us what? Coming to America. Coming to America. And guess what year Coming to America came out? It came out in 1988. Guess what happened in 1988? Jesse Jackson called us African American. Guess what also happened in 1988? They gave us House Resolution 331 when the government was supposed to treat us, the Indians, from a government to government basis. So you see how they play these games? I keep telling y'all, everything is connected. It's a system that's put together. They're all part of the same tree, but they're all part of the tree, different branches, but they have the same root. It is not a coincidence that Coming to America came out in 1988. It is not a coincidence that Jesse Jackson called us African American. It is not a coincidence that they gave us House Resolution 331, where they're supposed to treat us from a government to government basis. All right? That is a covenant, and we have to hold them to that covenant. But we are not being taught that. Our children are not being educated, and it's your fault, the parent. Like I always tell y'all, stop blaming things on, this generation. Well, let me ask you, where did their generation came from? It came from you. It came from you. So start taking some responsibility, all right? And just know that our children are the way they are because of you. Not because of their friends. Oh, well, I do my job. Well, it's their friends. Well, go ahead and talk to their parents. Or stop having your children associate with these children that are lost, confused. The responsibility has to fall on the parents. Nobody's forcing your children to be playing video games all day. Nobody's forcing your children to be on YouTube all day looking at things they ain't supposed to be looking at. Because you don't want to be a parent. Most of y'all want to be friends with your children. All right? But anyway, that's another video. I'm not going to get into that. All right? I'm not going to get into that. And by the way, Kareem, you have children. You don't have kids. Goats have kids. We have to be very mindful of the words that we use. All right? For real. Okay, so goats have kids. All right? That's why animals get killed and people get murdered. I've told y'all that before. Animals get killed and people get murdered. That's why they get away, because the majority of y'all running around here calling your children kids. A goat is an animal. So you kill goats, you kill kids, that's what you do. You kill animals, but you murder people. Once again, the semantics of the words. All right? Let me drink some Pierre, what's that? Pierre or Pierre water, sparkling water. I love that. Now, this is not a commercial. I'm just letting you know. They're not paying me to do this, all right? But anyway, we're going to proceed. Yes, which is why we have to create our own. I absolutely agree. Okay? I have to agree with that. So, a lot of people say, well, when we do videos or I make, statements that we are Aboriginals or Aborigines, a lot of people get into, well, ab means away from. Listen, stop. Stop right here. All right? When we are dealing with an international platform, certain terms are acknowledged for what they say they are. All right? We are not playing semantics here. Okay? We are not playing semantics here. Internationally, all right? Within treaties, within covenants, within certain declarations, okay? Laws. Aborigine means original. It doesn't mean separate ab from, you have origine. There's no such thing as origine. Okay? Because when you look at origin or origine, whatever you want to call it, it goes back to the same thing, original. And I get that. We are the original people. But there's no such thing as original people within international or the international platform in terms of recognition. All right? It's aboriginal. Now, mind you, if that term or that word that's being used, it wasn't effective, now that would be a concern. But I always tell people, if it's not broken, don't fix it. What do you mean by this, Chief? The Australian Aboriginals, they have gotten their land back. The Lalakea tribe. If you don't believe me, go look it up. The Lalakea tribe in Australia have gotten their land back by what? Standing on the fact that they are Aboriginal Australians or Australian Aboriginals. Either way, it's interchangeable. They got their land back after fighting for what? Only 37 years. Now, some people may say, well, Chief, man, that's a long time. Well, 37 years is only about a generation and a half, because each generation is really about 25 to 30 years. It depends on what side, whether it's matriarchal or patriarchal. Okay? So in less than a generation and a half, because most people think a generation is 100 years. No, 100 is not a generation. 100 is a century. But a generation is only about 25 years for women and about 37, 36 years for men. All right? So it's one generation for men and a generation and a half kind of for women. And they got their land back, being Aboriginals. So in the international platform, it's recognized as the original inhabitants of a land. Not just indigenous, but original. Okay? Now, are they the only examples that we could use? No. Let us go to Canada. Go look and see what the Aboriginals in Canada are doing right now. They are shutting things down. Because Canada they don't have a constitution in Canada. They have provinces. Okay? They have provinces. So what does that mean? It means that Canada is not a nation. Oh, I guess Chief is dropping too much of that knowledge there, huh? Okay, so Canada is still open, wide, like a virgin waiting to be taken because the Aboriginal people are stepping up. All they have to do is come together, create the Constitution, their bylaws, and boom, take back their land. It's that simple. You heard Lauryn Hill. Life could be so simple, but you rather make it hard. Anyway, I haven't had my honey yet, so pardon the vocal cords, you know what I'm saying? But brothers and sisters, you see, we have to learn to look at things for what they are. And let's not make it difficult, all right? So once again, let us go look at the etymology of Aboriginal, all right? Let us look at the etymology of Aboriginal. Aboriginal. All right? Aboriginal. I'm going to take that link, put that in this description for you. Here we go. So it's in the description. Aboriginal. We're going to read. Reading is fun for the mental. Let's read. Okay? As a matter of fact, I'm going to copy, Command C, and I'm going to paste everything in here for you, Command V. All right, here we go. And so I'm going to read with y'all so y'all can see what I'm reading. All right, there we go. I don't know why I didn't think about that earlier. Well, actually I did because I've been pasting it anyway. It says, Aboriginal, adjective, right? So once again, it describes. You feel me? It describes. Now, we cannot just say we are Aboriginals just like Indigenous, just like the word. You feel me? We have to attach a noun to it. So now we are Aboriginal Americans. Oh, now are you getting that? All right, we are Indigenous Americans. What does that mean? Born or originating in America. All right, we are Aboriginal Turtle Islanders. We are Aboriginal Abiyala people. You know what Abiyala means? Abiyala is another name that was used in South America to describe the continent. Oh, y'all didn't know that, huh? Well, Chief is dropping some things on y'all today. Abiyala. And I also have that on my ID, my Indigenous ID, so to speak. I have Abiyala, I have Turtle Island, and I have America. Okay, so let us look at Aboriginal. It describes a noun. What does it describe? If it's an adjective and it describes a noun, what's the noun? The noun is the American, us. Okay? Native is an adjective. It means to be born. Native of what? They call themselves Native of America because they were born in America. But they cannot call themselves Aboriginal Americans. Brothers and sisters, that's where we make that claim. You feel me? I don't just tell you about the problems. I want to give you the solutions. And I want to make sure I break it down so you know exactly what I'm talking about. So when you speak and you stand on what you are making an attempt to articulate, nobody could take you and play games with you. Because now you know how to break it down. So for me, I'm an Aboriginal American. That gives me the highest authority across this continent. Now, whether they want to respect it or not, that's on them. It doesn't mean that I'm wrong. It just means that you're not being honorable and disrespecting me and violating my rights as an Aboriginal American. Okay? I had to put that out there. So let's read. 1600s. First. You see, first. Right here. End of discussion. So for everybody talking about, oh, well, Ab means this and let's separate it. Ab is away from, listen, stop. Stop. Okay, stop. If it's not broken, don't fix it. The very first word, it says first. Meaning that second is irrelevant. Third is irrelevant. Fourth is irrelevant. Fifth is irrelevant, etc., etc. It's first. So we were the first and the earliest existing from what? The beginning, especially in reference to inhabitants of a land colonized by what? Europeans. Okay? And let's not get that term European confused, because the original Europeans were not the Caucasian man. Oh, so you see, they are telling you who actually colonized our land. But y'all got so much hate for the white man. Oh, the white man is the devil. Shut the hell up. Stop. The hatred got to stop. Educate yourselves. Know exactly what it is. I'm going to read that again. All right? I'm going to read it again. First, earliest, existing from the beginning, especially in reference to inhabitants of lands colonized by Europeans. Let me ask you a question. Is our land colonized by Europeans? Both the original Europeans and the current Europeans? Yes. So we are Aboriginals of America. All right? It's that simple. And it says what? Colonized by Europeans from what? Aborigines. See, Aborigine, the specific or Australian sense, is attested to 1820. All right? The noun meaning, give me a second here. Okay, why it's not allowing me to bring up the, come on, man. Okay, this is frozen. All right, well, I'm going to read it from the etymology page. So it says, the noun meaning an original inhabitant, attacked on, is attested from 1760. All right, so here's the thing. When we look at Aborigine, all right, Aborigine is plural. Now I'm going to look at the definition of Aborigine. And once again, we're looking at the etymology of a word. We're not just looking at the definition. Oh, come on, man. Like, now it's not allowing me to put in comments. Give me a second here, guys. Alrighty, man. All right, here we go. Oh, you know what? I think I didn't hit enter. That's what it is. I'm here almost getting ready to blame Facebook, man. I tell you, see? We got it. Here we go. So that's the definition right here, right? I just posed that. Now I'm going to post the definition of Aborigine, because Aboriginal is singular, all right? And I'm going to show that to you right now, all right? I'm going to show that to you right now. So let us take the definition, the whole definition right here, okay? Command C, and we're going to put Command V right here, all right? So we are looking at now, hit enter. There we go. So we are looking at Aborigine right now. It says, a person, animal, or plant that has been in a country or region from earliest times, mistaken, singular, of Aborigines. Okay? Aboriginal is considered correct singular in English. So individually, you are an Aboriginal. That is singular. All right? But Aborigine is plural. They also say what? Aborigines, considered the correct singular in English from Aborigines. All right, but here we go. Aborigine is mistaken singular of Aborigines. Mistaken singular, but it's not. All right, I hope that makes sense. All right, I hope that makes sense. But anyway, I put it in the description so y'all can read it for yourself and let it digest. So for me, I am an Aboriginal, all right? And we are the Aborigine, all right? Just so you know. It says, can you share, post, and your... I don't know how to do this on here, all right? Well, I know Zoom. For me to do something on Zoom, that means I would have to do a post. Hey, everybody meet me on Zoom at 4 o'clock, all right? Now, I'm not going to do that. Honestly, I'm not going to do that because like I said, I'm doing this here enough. I'm just going to give you the information for me to take it to another platform. That means, you know, I'm going to require you guys to donate, and people don't like to support like that. You know what I mean? So I'm just giving y'all some information because of the love. And if you want to support the Cash App, that's cool. All right. But I'm not going to do a special class on Zoom. No, I'm not going to do that, Amber. People don't really show their gratitude like that. I'm going to just keep it real. All right. I know what Zoom is. I have Zoom. All right. Now, somebody said, ask about autochthonous. We could get into that too. I'll look it up. All right. We could look that up too. Let me see what time is it, because I'm on a time constraint right here. Okay. When we look at the etymology of autochthonous, here we go. It says what? Native. Once again, right? Autochthonous could mean a lot of things. It's also an adjective. So you cannot just say autochthonous. Autochthonous American. All right. Let us put the definition here as well, so we could break that down. Words are we have to be very specific with the words. All right. Be very specific. I'm going to put that in there as well. So you ask about autochthonous. Here we go. Let's break it down. Autochthonous. It's an adjective. Once again, it describes a noun. What's the noun? Who's the noun? American. All right. Here we go. It says a native. So therefore, you see, natives could also call themselves autochthonous. Brothers and sisters, I keep showing y'all the information. You feel me? Pusha, brother, my Cash App is in the description, but I could put it in the link below, brother. I appreciate you for asking. All right. It's right here. All right. So once again, look at autochthonous. Anybody could be autochthonous. Anybody. All right. It's a native, an aboriginal, indigenous. Natives are autochthonous. Natives are indigenous, but natives are not aboriginal. You see, aboriginal is the only word that separates us from everybody else, not autochthonous. Okay? All autochthonous means is native, aboriginal, indigenous. In other words, everybody collectively. The melting pot. Oh, wow. Here we go. All right. Now, if you want to consider yourself the melting pot, that's fine. But aboriginal is the key. They are all indigenous. They are all natives. They are all autochthonous, but they are not aboriginals. They are not aborigines. Okay? Malcolm X told y'all, you're the aborigines, but you don't like being called the aborigines. Senator, what's his name? Senator Scott Bisson from Alabama. Oh, well, you know, the black people in Alabama, they're the aboriginals. Hold up. When he spoke the truth, man, listen, they whooped that butt. So he had to come back. Well, you know, I apologize. I don't know where it came from. The interviewer said, no, it came from your subconscious mind. Because the ancestors allow you to speak the truth. Speak the truth for a change. All right? So we are Aboriginal Americans. And that takes us away from everybody else. You know what? Not fourth, not fifth, not third, not second, but first inhabitants of the American continent. It could all be so simple, but we rather make it hard. You see what I'm saying? Or do you hear what I'm saying? All right? So I just wanted to break a few of these things down. Okay? What I'm going to do right now is give thanks, give thanks, give thanks. All right? So what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to speak a little bit about status correction because, like I said, I'm going to break some things down. So now that we have dealt with the whole indigenous concept, we spoke about aborigines, we spoke about aboriginal, we spoke about native, we spoke about autochthonous. All right? Those are great, great, great bills. All right? Let's talk about status correction real quick. Status. Let us go look at, let me see if I could put up the etymology of status and see what comes up. Status. All right, it says what? Status. It says height of a situation or condition. Later, legal standing of a person. I'm going to take that and put that in. I'm going to put that right here. Enter, okay? Let us look at this here for a second here now. This is the etymology of status. It says what? Status is a noun. So it describes the noun is the thing or the person or the animal, right? It says what? Height, in parentheses, of a situation or condition. And it says later, legal standing of a person. So that is what your status is. It's your legal standing. How do they see you in this legal system is your status. All right? That's what your status means. We don't have to go anywhere else. We stop right here. Condition, position, your state, your manner, your attitude. Okay? It's your standing in the legal system. So let us talk about that here for a second, right? Because a lot of people ask me a lot of questions. Hey, Chief, Halito, brother, can you help me with my status correction and all this? And a lot of them don't know what status correction means. First, you have to know what status means. All right. So now that we know what status means, it's your legal standing. So legally, your status is of a legal person right now. That's your legal status, because you are what's called in legis. You are a juristic person. All right. Let us go, pull that up real quick. For me, when I teach or I demonstrate things, I like to make sure that a child could comprehend the things that I speak of. So let us go let's look at in Legis. Here we go. Definition in Legis. All right, definition. Okay, here we go. Give me a second here, guys. Definition. Okay. Come on, man. Like some time. All right, it's not even coming up. All right, let me see, lecture of law, artificial. All right, here we go. If we're gonna look at Black's law right here, right? Let's look at Black's law. That gives a pretty much a decent breakdown of it. So we're gonna take that, so you know exactly what I'm talking about. Ens legis. Okay, let me copy that and let me paste that in the chat for you guys. All right, I got probably another half an hour, so I want to kind of browse through this real quick. All right, so here we go. Because I really don't want to do a part 2 on that. I just put that. Hold up, it didn't show up. Give me a second. Where it's at? Oh, here we go. Ens legis. All right, so it's spelled E-N-S space L-E-G-I-S. It means what? A creator of the law, an artificial being, as contrasted with a natural person. So right now your status is in legis, meaning that you're an artificial being. That's your status. All right, so that's what needs to be corrected. Also, you are a juristic person. Let us go look at that again. Let's see what's the definition of juristic person. Okay, let me pull that up for you. Give me a second here, guys. Definition of juristic person. Let me see if it comes up in Black's law. Give me a second here, please. Give me a second here. All right. From the fringe sector, the judical person is a non. All right, so here we go. Juristic or a judical person. All right, I'm going to take that and put that here for you guys. Put that in the link. Okay, here we go. Pull that up. Here we go. From Wikipedia. All right. The encyclopedia, a judical person is a non-human legal entity. You see what I'm saying? That's why they deal with you with a what? A judicial system. Because you are what? You are a non-human legal entity. The same thing as in legis. So to deal with these artificial persons, they have to have a what? A judicial system. The judicial system is not supposed to deal with the people. That's why they have to take you away from being the people and make you what? A judical person in Legis, an artificial person, so they could deal with you in artificial courts. However, when we correct our status, in other words, you identify as what or who your grandmother told you that you are or were, because she may be alive or she may have transcended. So I'm speaking in the past and the present. Then they're not supposed to deal with us in a judical system, because we are not artificial persons or humans. They have to deal with you in a court of common pleas, common law, dealing with the people. Now you see the difference, right? So when you're correcting your status, know exactly what you're talking about. And don't be in such a haste to do things just because everybody's talking all this stuff over the internet, driving y'all crazy, putting you more in a bind than you were before. Study. A lot of people don't want to read. They don't want to study. They want me to do all the work. Oh, well, Chief, read it for us. Chief, explain it to us. Chief, break it down for us. Chief, help me correct my status. And, oh, well, thank you, Chief. Oh, man, you're such a good brother. No, I'm a good brother, but don't use me. Don't abuse me. Use me, but don't abuse me. And I'll keep talking about it. When I put my cash app, people, oh, you keep talking about, no, I'm not talking about money. I'm talking about the fact is I'm giving you. What are you giving back to me? That's it. Love doesn't pay my bills. I don't care what anybody say. I'm always going to keep it real. When the lights cut off or the internet cut off, I can't send a note to the light company and say, well, guess what? You know, what company I got my phone with? Damn, I even forgot. But anyway, I can't say, well, you know, hey, Mr. Telephone Company, well, you know what? I only got love this month. Can I pay you in love? I mean, come on, man. Don't take my kindness for weakness. I'm not stupid. I'm not going to allow people to use me. I love y'all, and that's why I do what I do. But at the same time, reciprocate. Show your love. Don't just tell me, show it. You know what women say? Well, I know you love me, but you got to show me. Show me the love. All right? You remember Jerry Maguire? Jerry Maguire keep talking about, oh, man, listen, I hear what you're saying, but show me the money. Show me the fiat currency, because I'm using that same fiat currency to do what? To educate you, okay? That's over $300 worth of books right here to educate you. All right, so let's proceed. We're talking about status correction here, okay? So when you're talking about status correction, it's your legal standing in law. Now, here's where we kind of have to draw, okay? And think here for a second. When you're correcting your status, it doesn't mean that you're doing something wrong. The question is whether the system, acknowledges the fact that's what you're doing. Because you see, brothers and sisters, this is a business. It's a corporation. Some of it is incorporated, but it's a corporation. It's a business. And if they allow their subjects or their subsidiaries, so to speak, if they allow their subsidiaries to get out of the system and become the people again, then that means it's bad business for the business. So they have to tell you what? Man, keep it business. It's never personal. It's all business. So they may prevent you from filing your documents. Are they supposed to? No. But it's because it's a corporation and they only look for the best, for their best interests. They prevent people from doing that. So correcting your status, it's not that hard. Yes, it does take some work, but it's not difficult. The question is, would they allow you to file it in the county clerk? Because you know, there's a certain group that messed it up for a lot of people because they like to file frivolous documents. All right? Because they're claiming to be original people of the land, and they are not. Like I said, the US government know who's who. So they have messed it up for a lot of us who are truly trying to correct our status. So y'all got to peep the game, man. Peep the game. So I tell folks, first, do your genealogy, meaning that do your family tree. Connect the dots as far back as you can go. Here's another thing you need to, well, you don't need to do. I suggest you do, is speak to the eldest members in your family, all right? And get that conversation recorded. Get that conversation recorded. Because that's a record. And that cannot be refuted by any court, because that's what my grandmother, my grand aunt, and my uncle, cousin told me we are. Because why? We had an oral tradition before we had a written tradition. So that stands as law because it's on the record. Okay? But you have to do your family tree. Now, a lot of people may come into some, like I said, they have put a roadblock because of paper genocide. So that's another way we could get around it, because paper genocide does exist. It does exist. Let me see if we could pull up the definition of paper genocide. So I am giving you solutions. Definition of paper genocide. Paper genocide definition. Now we're going to look at the paper genocide. It came up in what? The Urban Dictionary. So we're going to look at that real quick. Let me see how much time I got. What time is it? Let me see. I want to conclude. Okay, I got a few minutes. Okay, it's language identity. Says okay. So I'm going to take that paper genocide, copy and paste, put that in the chat for you guys. All right, give me a second here. Okay, here we go. Copy. All right, enter. All right, so let's look at paper genocide. Walter Ashby Plecker, who played a role in eugenics, was one of the biggest culprits in paper genocide. If you don't know who he is, go look up Walter, W-A-L-T-E-R-A, as in Apple, Plecker, P-L-E-C-K-E-R. All right, go read up on him. So it says from Wikipedia. Hold up, I'm looking at hold up, where's it at? I thought I just put that in there, man. Give me a second here, guys. I'm looking at oh, you know what? I put the wrong one in there. My fault. Let me go back and get that. Command C. All right, and Command V. Okay, here we go. Paper genocide, right? That came from the Urban Dictionary. Even the Urban Dictionary know what paper genocide is. It says paper genocide is the deliberate and systematic destruction of Native American Indian culture, language, and identity as a unique racial group by way of illegal and oppressive race reclassification imposed on Native American Indians or blood Indians. Now, brothers and sisters, pay attention. Native American Indians or blood Indians. It says what? To the non-Indian races of Black African Americans, white, etc., etc. Pay very close attention. You have Native Americans and you have blood Indians. Who are the blood Indians? We are the blood Indians. Okay? So when they talk about, oh, well, I have 1/4 Chickasaw and I have 1/32 Cherokee, well, guess what? If you're only 1% Indian, that means you got 1% of my blood. What is the other 98%? That is your point of origin. So how come you get to claim to be American, original American? No, not in my book, because I am a blood Indian. So paper genocide has occurred. So therefore, you could make that be part of your claim. The reason why you cannot go back that far is because something such as paper genocide took place in your family, because you cannot go past your records at a certain point in your research or in your family tree. So now you're making your case your claim, so to speak, a little more tighter. All right. So for those of you who cannot go back as far as you may want to, paper genocide is a way you counter that by claiming paper genocide. How are they going to dispute that? Now, I'm not telling you to be dishonest. No, I'm just giving you honest ways to make your claim. That's it. To make your claim. I'm not sharing these things with you or teaching you that to be to do things that are wrong or to be, how would I put it? I want you to be in honor, so to speak. Remain in honor. Okay? Don't be deceitful. So I'm just saying that. I just want to put my disclaimer out there, all right? So with that being said, correcting your status, you have to know all those things. Now, oh, I just put the link, I just put the link in, Gripper. I just put the, everything I'm talking about, I copy and paste. So you guys could actually go back and look at it for yourself, all right? All right. So, let me see, I think one of my CEO. All right, cool. All right, one of my family just supported the Cash App. Man, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Much love, much love. All right, no doubt, that's what it is. Actually, two of them. Amber Glow, thank you, and it says Bows LLC. Thank you so much, man, for supporting for supporting my Cash App. That means a lot. All right. Okay. So here we go. He says, I am curious about relevance of old blood. I have no idea. I haven't gotten into that, so I don't speak on anything that I don't know of personally. For me, I tell people I only speak of things that I know of. That's why I speak with so much passion, and I can speak from a factual standpoint. If I don't know about the blood thing, I don't talk about it. I don't know. I have no idea. So I can't tell you about that, fam. All right, I can't tell you about that. So moving on to status correction, right? Just to conclude. So you have to know all those basic things before you could do any of that. Now, status correction doesn't have to be complicated. It doesn't have to be complicated, but here's the key. You cannot say you want, now, this is very, very crucial. The question is, you see, the problem is, well, here we go. The question is not, or the situation is not whether you should correct your status or not. The question is, are you ready to correct your status? Because a lot of people are talking about, oh, well, chief, I want to correct my status, but yet still, you got a driver's license. You have a social security number. You're on welfare. You're in the court system getting child support. You ain't growing your own food. You're not teaching your own children, but you want to be American Aborigine, and you want to what? You want to correct your status? Brothers and sisters, when you correct your status to the full extent you need to do that, you have to be self-sufficient. Because anytime you are getting anything from the corporation, all right, that means that you are still begging them for things. So they have a right in their world legally to tell you what to do. All right? Be mindful of what you ask for. You want to correct your status, but you're still voting. Like, come on, man. So I know a lot of y'all get excited when, oh, Chief is going to talk about status correction. Well, guess what? Now let's talk about the realness of status correction. Okay? Me personally, I'm still in the process of correcting my status. Why? Because I still have a driver's license. Even if I have my Indigenous ID, they're not accepting it when I go rent a car. So I have to use a driver's license. So now I have to learn how to contract with the corporation. So be careful what you're asking for. And the question is, are you ready for what you're asking for? You feel me? Are you ready? That's not for me to determine. That's for you to determine. It's called self-determination. Are you ready for that? And are we unified enough to create our own system where we could be self-sufficient? Where we don't have to revert to asking the system for anything. Because anytime anybody give you anything, trust me, they want something back in return. Okay? As a woman, no man is going to just pay your rent just like that. Well, not in every case. He wants something. You may have a few exceptions. All right? As a man, no woman is just going to pay your rent like that. No. She wants something in return. Yes, you do have certain cases where there are exceptions, but I'm talking about generally. Okay? So let us look at it from the perspective of the corporation. Look at their history. Do you think they're going to give you something for nothing? No. So when you speak of status correction, know what you're talking about and ask yourself, am I ready for that? Okay? So here comes the second part of it. Now that you know, because I've taught y'all that you are not the name or the title on the birth certificate and you are actually one of the owners, once you have done that, okay, you let that be your business and let the indigenous man or woman be the one running the business. Now you have separated yourself from the Legis, the judical person, and the natural blood American Aboriginal man or woman. So when they deal with the person or the identity that's on the birth certificate, they are not dealing with you. They are dealing with your business. And Jay-Z said it eloquently. Well, eloquently. All right? I'm not a businessman. I'm a businessman. Okay? He's telling you, I know that it's a business. And that name or that title is a business. But y'all, a lot of y'all miss that. All right? So all that has to do with your status correction. So be mindful what you ask for, and are you ready for that? Okay? So I just wanted to come and share that information with you guys. Now, if you're ready for all that, okay, you have your own land, you're growing your own food, you're making your own clothes, you don't need anything for them, guess what? Your status correction could be very simple. If they don't want to file your stuff for you, you just put something in a legal newspaper. That's it. I am such and such from such and such a family. I am indigenous, American, Aboriginal. You know, that's my declaration. It's as simple as that. But don't go make your declaration and you over here voting. Don't go make your declaration and you over here asking for welfare. Don't go make your declaration and you got your baby daddy on child support. Or you got your baby mama on child support. Don't go do a declaration and your children is in the system. That means you ain't ready. So y'all want the real? I'm giving y'all the real. So when you hear people telling you, oh, well, status correct, and oh, well, pay me $2,400, pay me this and that. Are they really correcting your status? Huh? Brothers and sisters, for there to be any type of status correction, we have to create our own family. We have to create our own community. We have to create our own villages so that we are able to provide for ourselves. That is status correction to me. It is not a piece of paper. It is a lifestyle. Now, I know a lot of you don't want to hear that, but it's okay. I'm not here to sell you dreams. I'm not here to sell you the illusion. All right? I'm here to give you truth and facts so you're able to live life and stop surviving. Okay? Whether you like it or not, the universe is going to force y'all to come together because it's the only way we're going to make it. So for all you selfish bastards out there, all right, you are going to continue to perish. Okay? You are going to continue to perish once your intention is not right, once your motives ain't right. So I don't have to look at you and judge you. No. The ancestors are going to do that because they know your true intent. Trust me, nobody could escape that karma. Nobody. I don't care what you come as. Because many of you are sheep is wolves in sheep's clothing. I know that for a fact. Okay? But the truth of the matter is you cannot escape that karma. All right? I've done videos on Moors. I'm not going to get into that right now. Go look at my last build. I broke down the whole thing on the Moors. I don't want Moors to think I'm beating up on them. I did a whole video talking about that yesterday, so go check that out. All right? But I'm going to answer your question real quick. Moors are not Aboriginals of this land. They're Aboriginals of Africa. Just to answer your question, okay? But I did a video on that. I broke that down. I just want y'all to know, man, when you are asking for things and you're proclaiming things, know what you are talking about. All right? The key is that unity. What are we doing to come together to build our communities again? That's called status correction. It's a lifestyle. It's not a piece of paper. It's not just a declaration. It's a lifestyle. That's what it is. All right? So until we as a people cannot come together as a unit and correct our legal standing, then it's going to be ineffective. Yes, as an individual, you could do it. And yes, man, if you want to be selfish, you could do it and just do you. And some people have done that. It is possible to do it by yourself. You get an acre or two, all right? You know how to contract with the corporation and you live off the grid. You're growing your own food. You're doing your own thing. But when you step into their world, you go in with your business. You know what I'm saying? That's what you do. So some people have done that. I'm still in the process of putting all that. I have done a whole lot, but I don't have my own land. You feel what I'm saying? I got to keep it real, man. I don't want to sell you the dreams. I don't want to do that. Too many people are doing that just to make a quick buck. And that's not what I'm about. Keep your money. I don't want it if I cannot give you the truth. I don't want it. So that's just me. I can only speak for myself. Too many dishonest people out there, too many dishonorable people out there, too many people that don't have integrity out there. I cannot and I will not, I refuse to be one of them. So that's why when people come to me and they, well, Chief, can you? If I can't, I can't. Period. You feel me? And don't come to me and ask me to do things for you. And just know, if you want my service, then you pay me for my service. And like I tell you before, I'm not going to let nobody use me, man. I'm giving you the information. Do your own research. Because y'all support everybody else. Chinese, Asian, Caucasian, Malaysian, Japanese, what they call them, Arabs, Koreans, everybody. But when it comes to your own, oh, yo, can you do me a favor, brother? Nah, man, white always got to be a favor when it comes to your brother or your sister. Why don't you go ask the Chinese to do you a favor? Y'all could barely get away, when you are short 2 pennies when you get Chinese food. They will stay and argue with you all day for 2 pennies. But when you come to me or somebody who look like you, oh, brother, do me a favor. Huh? When you go talk to lawyers, you got to set up a consultation fee. But when it comes to me or somebody who look like me, hey, brother, do you have some time? Yo, okay. No, come on, man. No, you see, it's the mindset of our people that's crippling us. It's the mindset. Because you always want, give me, take. You're like a damn ticking clock. Always ticking. But you never want to give. Come on, man. I don't deal with that kind of energy, man. I don't want to deal with that. Period. Okay? I'm getting ready to go to our Indigenous event today. And here, look, I come doing a build. Because I'm thinking about you. Because I love you. Because I care about you. I didn't have to do that. But it's because of the genuine love I have for y'all. I do these things. So all I'm just saying, man, just show some love, man. How hard is that? You know what I mean? And I'm not saying that, I'm not saying that, hey, you have to do like a pastor, like the pastors do and give me 10%. I'm not saying that. All I'm just saying is just show a little love. It goes a long way. It goes a long way, brothers and sisters. It gives me a chance to get more books. It gives me a chance to rent another car and go into another part of the country and do research and go into these museums and show you things and interview some of these $5 Indians and get them to speak the truth. Come on, man. Do I have to do all that on my own and still come teach you again? Come on, man. Like, seriously. I know why y'all crucified Jesus. And I'm talking about the allegorical Jesus. No, I know why y'all crucify him. Man. Because he was trying to save the same people who crucified him. And that's what y'all do. Anybody who comes to try to help you out, you want to crucify them because of your bad intentions. Because you haven't stepped into a higher sense of consciousness. You are still vibrating in your lower chakra. Man. My people perish for the lack of knowledge. But anyway, with that being said, I hope this video opened some, some light for you guys. Once again, don't be so quick to get into all this, oh, a status correction. No, take your time. Take your time. Okay? Learn the information. Make sure when you get into that and you have done that, all right, you have separated yourself from that legal entity. All right? You identify yourself as the indigenous man or woman. All right? And know that there's two separate entities. Okay? For me, I have made Chief Kalanago, Flying Eagle, power of attorney. Well, I didn't do that. The legal man, okay, like I told y'all before, my mother named me Kenrick, right? So check this out. What Kenrick did, Kenrick gave Chief Kalanago, Flying Eagle, power of attorney over him. You see what I'm saying? So Chief Kalanago get to handle all the business for the child that my mother gave birth to. Because it's not me in the legal world. So that's what I did. I mean, I did a few other things as well, but I'm just giving you some ideas on how you got to separate yourself from that. Because it's not you. It is a title, and you are the owner of the title. It's a name. A name is synonymous with title. But if they had told you it was a title, then people would be up on it and be like, hold up, what do you mean title? Hold up, my car got a title. When I register my car, it's not mine. So when I register my child, it's not mine. Oh, a title. But they didn't want you to know it's a title. They told you it's a name. That's how they tricked our parents. So all that stuff is based on fraud. Okay? And I could prove to you without even going into any type of law, prove to you that all that is based on fraud. Typical example, right? If this is my birth certificate, right? And I'm traveling in a car, and all of a sudden, the sirens behind me, whoop, 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 like they do, pull over. The officer comes to the window of the car. Do you have identification, driver's license, insurance, etc., etc.? I'm going to ask you a question. What if I took my birth certificate? That's the only form of ID I have. What if I took my birth certificate and I gave it to the officer? Officer, here you go. What is he going to say? The birth certificate doesn't have a picture on it. So how does he know that's me? That could be anybody's birth certificate. But yet still, every form of identification came from the birth certificate. So if the birth certificate is not, if the foundation of all identification came from the birth certificate, and the birth certificate is not a form of ID, it means that everything that stems from the birth certificate is fraud. It's fraud. It's fraudulent. Because if I were to give a police officer, here you go, Mr. Officer, just a birth certificate, he would look at me like I'm crazy. What's that? Well, officer, it's my birth certificate. Oh, no, that's not your ID. Yes, it is. But how do I know that's you? Well, you tell me. Y'all gave it to me, and y'all told me that's me. You see what I'm saying? It was the catalyst, or, the progenitor, so to speak. It was the foundation of all forms of ID. So if all forms of ID came from this, and this is a fraud, that means there's no such thing as a real ID. So why are they pushing real ID on people? They're not pushing it on people. They're pushing it on legal persons. All right? With that being said, I rest my case. I think I gave y'all enough for today. All right? So once again, for those of you who want to support, like I said, support this the Cash App. Man, y'all got me sweating in here. Please support it. Show some love. I'm about to go take a shower because we got to get ready to go to our Indigenous Day event. All right? So you guys have a blissful, a prosperous, a magnificent day, and I'm going to continue to build with my people. A lot of brothers and sisters are doing a lot of great work across the country, across the entire Americas. Man, I just want y'all to know your work, what you're doing is not unseen. I see you. I appreciate, love you. Thank you for playing your part, because I cannot do it alone. And I promise you, all right, we are going to come together and we're going to get this right. For those of us who are actually vibrating on the right frequency, for those of us who are doing this for real, with no bad intentions, no bad interior motives. Because then people go, oh, well, Chief, you're doing things with interior motives. Of course I am. You got to have a motive, and it cannot be external. It has to be interior. So I have interior motives. I want to see my people do well. You see, everybody always using these words, but it's like, y'all just so messed up. When y'all hear things, y'all don't know exactly how to articulate it because you want to look at everything in a negative way. I do have interior motives. I want to see you do better. I want to see you do well. But at the same time, I don't want you to take advantage of me. So, of course, we all have interior motives. You feel me? So, for all those of you who reach out to me, give me some time to respond because, like I said, a lot of people reach out. And I'm only one man. So I will get back to you eventually. A sister sent me an email, right? And she said, well, Chief, she left her number. Can you give me a call? I would like to, discuss some things with you in terms of, indigenous standing or whatever. Okay, I got the email. I responded, hey, sis, Halito, whatever. Thank you for the email. I will make an attempt to give you a call tomorrow. The sister sent back an email. What you mean make an attempt? Oh, forget about it. What do I owe? Do I owe you anything? Like, that's what all people, man. That's why I said, man, listen, there's something wrong with a lot of y'all. Okay? Y'all got some nerve. I don't work for you. You don't own me. What do you want me to say? Oh, well, I'm going to call you tomorrow, and then something happened I can't call. All of a sudden, that rests on me, a comma that I don't want to put on myself because I said I was going to do something and I didn't do it. Come on, man. I protect myself from karma, both seen and unseen, and both known and unknown. So I said I will make an attempt. Meaning that if I get a chance, I'll call you tomorrow. You want to email me back with an attitude? Man, listen, something's wrong with y'all people, man. That's why I tell people, don't play these games with me, man. Now I will shut you down real fast. Okay? I don't owe you anything. Period. All right? What I do is because I love you. That's why I do it. Not because I owe it to you. No. All right? That's why I do things. I owe it to myself to do what I'm doing for you. Because first gratitude starts with self. So I am gratitude to me for doing what I'm doing for my people. All right? I got to learn to appreciate me first before y'all run me to the ground. I'm not going to allow you to do that. So I'm going to take my time to respond when I can. I got a life. I got a family. You feel me? So stop playing the games. Okay? So with that being said, do your due diligence. Don't be in a rush to do anything. And let's make that happen. All right? There we go. And Brandy says, and little to no support. Yeah, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. It's all good though. But like I said, I know there are, well-intended people out there, man. And I just want to thank you once again for being who you are. All right. And constantly every single day putting in the grind, putting in that work, teaching, reaching, trying to uplift our people. And I thank you for that. It means a lot. It just shows me that I'm not alone. All right. And that's a beautiful thing. All right. So enjoy the rest of your day. Enjoy the rest of this Indigenous Day. Have fun with your family and be good to each other. Love each other, man. And I can't promise I'll do another build later. All right. But if I get a chance, I will. But I'm going to go enjoy myself with our nation people. And we will talk another time. All right. Like I said, Indigenous standing is more than just a piece of paper. It's a way of life. So learn that first. All right. And we'll be okay. We're going to be just fine. We're already victorious. All the physical man or the physical body is waiting for is just to step into what's already great and victorious for us. All right. So don't be afraid. All right. Don't threat. This is our home. This is our land. They know who we are. They know. So that's half the battle is already won because they know who we are. You just have to step into who you are. Let it be a lifestyle. Okay? Let it be a lifestyle. So peace, love, harmony, and light to each and every one of you. Enjoy the rest of your continuation. Peace and love. End this video. Okay, here we go.